Hi everyone, this is Miss Tom with a video on how to turn 2 points into an exponential equation. So what we're going to do is we're going to look here. We've got 2 points on an exponential curve and our goal is to find an equation from it. Let's remind ourselves that the equation for an exponential curve is y is equal to a times b to the x power. Where what does a represent? Well, let's go ahead and go over what a represents. It represents the y-intercept. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and highlight that y-axis. When you highlight the y-axis, you're going to notice that the curve crosses the y-axis at the point, looking here, 7, also known as 0, 7. So what's happening is our y-intercept is going to be 0, 7. So our a value is 7. The next thing is we're going to do is we're going to find out one of the points on the curve, and one of the points on the curve is 3, 56. So I'm going to write 3, 56, where 3 is the x value and 56 is the y value. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write down what we know and substitute it in so that we could find our multiplier. So for y being 56, we're going to write 56 is here. How did I know y was 56? Because that's one of the points they gave us. And then we're going to go ahead and write a, which is 7. That's from here. And then we're going to write down our b value, which we don't know. But we have our x value, and our x value is going to be 3. So we're going to take that and raise it to third power. Now, once again, we are solving for our b variable. So I'm drawing a line here, and we want to solve for b. So we're going to isolate the variable, also known as divide by 7. That's the coefficient. What you do to one side, do to the other. Then we're going to notice that the 7s will cancel out. So we get b to the third is equal to 8. Now, if b to the third is equal to 8, we need to figure out what is b value. Well, it's to the third power. How do you get rid of the third power? Well, you do the opposite of something to the third power, which is the cube root. The reason why it's the cube root is because it's raised to the third power. You want to do the opposite of that. So that's going to be b is equal to 8 to the third square, or cube rooted, is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Woohoo! We've got everything we need to solve and write down our generalized equation. So remember, our generalized equation is y is equal to, what is our a value? Our a value is 7. And our b value is 2. And we're going to raise that to the x power. So this is our generalized equation. Because we knew the y-intercept, this problem was not too difficult to solve. Now, I will warn you guys, the next page is going to be a little bit longer than this, so stay with me. We're going to go over one example, and then I'm going to have you try one on your own, okay? All right, here we go. So, we've got 2 points on this equation, but we need to solve for a lot of different things. So if you can see right here, these 2 points, both of them actually aren't the y-intercept, so we don't know a and we also don't know b. However, we can solve for that using a series of steps. The first step is to notice that we have 2, 144. That's going to be the first step we use because 2 is going to be x, 144 is going to be y. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down y was 144 equal to, what I'm using is this equation right here. Then a, do we know a? No. Do we know b? Unfortunately, no, we don't. But we do know what x is. X is 2 from this point. Then, you're probably thinking, what do I do now? What do I solve for? I'm going to recommend that you solve for a. The reason why you solve for a is because you're going to use that and then substitute that into the next equation. So let's go ahead and divide that by b squared. What I do to one side, I do to the other. These guys are going to cancel out, and so we get a is equal to 144 divided by b squared. And then we're going to box that and be like, yes, that's part of what we need. Next thing is you know what A is in variable form, but you want to use that information to see if you could figure out more things. So what we're going to do is the next step. I'm going to draw a line here so that you guys see the next step. The next step is where we use the other point that they gave us, which was 6, 729, where x is 6, y is 729. Once again, I'm going to use these same things. 729 is y. Do I know what A is? Yes, I do. I know it because of this part right here. So instead of A, I'm going to write 144 over B squared. Then we're going to write down, we don't know what the B value is, so I'm going to keep that as B. But we do know that it's going to be raised to the what power? It's going to be raised to the 6 power. Why? Because it's right here. Okay? So then we have 6 here. Now what's going to happen is we're going to notice there's a B value on top and a B value on the bottom. So these guys are actually going to cancel. And we're going to be left with B to the 4th power. Why is that? Because 6 minus 2 is 4. So now we have 729 is equal to 144 B to the 4th power. Then what we're going to do is we're going to isolate our variable by dividing by the coefficient 144. What I do to one, I do the other. So then we get B to the 4th, these guys cancel out, is equal to, what's 729 divided by 144? Oh, 5.062, okay. 5.0625. Okay, I know that looks complicated, but we're almost there, you guys. We can do this. Now we're going to figure out B to the 4th. How do you get rid of the 4th root? Well, you do the opposite of that, which is the square root, the 4th root of it. What we do to one, do to the other. So then we're going to go ahead and use that little root calculator, which is right here, okay? Click on this link, and it'll lead you here. Then you're going to go to the root calculator, which was 4 here, 5.0625 here, and what is it? It's 1.5. Okay, sweet. So we know that B is going to be equal to 1.5. B, goodness gracious. All right, thanks so much, you guys. Sorry about that. That was a minor problem on my computer. So then we've got B is equal to 1.5. And again, I'm sorry we're not there yet. We're almost done. We're going to need to put that B value back into the A value. We got 144 divided by B squared. Instead of B squared, we're going to write 1.5 squared. So we get 144 over 1.5 squared is going to be 2 and 25/100ths. Going to take that calculator. We are almost done, you guys. Great job so far. Great job keeping up with me. 64. Phew. So A is equal to 64. And we have everything we need to write down the generalized equation, which is y is equal to, what is A? A is 64. What is B? B is 1 and 5/10. And we're raising that to the x power. And we got it. Great job, you guys. I know that was a lot of work. I know you're looking at it like, oh my gosh, that's all just to do one problem? Yes, but don't worry. You got this. This is what we have. Okay? Now, the next one I want you to try on your own. I'm not going to go over it as an example, but you should get this as your work. Follow what I did here. and you should be fine. Alright everybody, thanks so much for watching. Sorry about the hiccups in this video, but I hope you got it. See you next time.